Vaccine bookings have been swamped with hundreds of thousands of people rushing to get in line for the jab. The latest figures say more than 79,000 Victorians were vaccinated yesterday. That's pushed us above 53% of people aged 16 and over having received their first dose, and 32.2% are fully vaccinated. While those numbers are up, so too are today's case numbers. 80 new local cases in Victoria, including 13 that have not been linked, and just under half were isolating while infectious. The Shepparton cluster is still of concern too, with another 20 new cases. There are now 36 people in hospital, 11 are in intensive care, and 8 patients are on a ventilator. The Premier has lashed out at people who aren't complying with the rules and says he hasn't got many more levers to pull to beat the outbreak. Here's state political reporter Richard Willingham.
The race is finally heating up. With the Pfizer gate open, younger Victorians have rushed to get jabbed. 200,000 bookings made yesterday, nearly 80,000 sleeves rolled up.
It's the first shot, but I feel a bit more safer.
We're just at the point where we're just saying, just give us the jab.
But today's 80 new cases, with only half in isolation, is of concern.
The fight is still on. We still have significant community transmission occurring. We are challenged by those mystery cases that are emerging every day.
Authorities remain frustrated that some people continue to delay getting tested when feeling sick, as well as ignoring the rules.
Don't act in a selfish and irresponsible way. The rules are there to protect people. The rules are there to drive these case numbers down, and if you do the right thing, then this will be over much sooner than it otherwise will be.
Hospitals were on bypass again last night due to COVID exposures. It also forced the closure of this Newport GP.
7-week-old baby, healthy young, coming for 2 months immunisation. After 2 days, we received a call that this child was positive.
Cases are continuing to emerge around Newport and Altona. Dr Hannah Al-Khoury's practice is in the heart of that community.
They're not doing a big gathering, but they're talking with them to each other. All the kids play together, and that could be the source of the infection.
Young people have heeded the call to get jabbed.
All of our friends are just keen to get it.
Despite the government aiming to vaccinate as many senior students as possible, there's still no priority plan for Year 12s or to get kids back in the classroom.
These young people are doing it tough. They're wasting time now in queues when they should be in class.
And while Perth Stadium is now officially on standby to host the grand final, the Victorian government has not given up on hosting it at the G just yet, even if it is kicking into a 10-goal breeze.
Look, it's going to be incredibly difficult for us to have major events anytime soon. That's just a fact. But no decision's been made on that.
There's also no decision on whether this lockdown will end as scheduled next Thursday. Authorities say it's too early to make a call on what can change amid pleas for at least playgrounds to be reopened. Those discussions are unlikely to start until late this weekend. Even then, it's pretty hard to find anyone who thinks this will end on time. Richard Willingham, ABC News.
Australian Defence Force troops have arrived in Shepparton to help the city's stretched health and community services. The state government has sent one of its top-level emergency management teams in to coordinate the response as the case numbers there continue to climb. Charmaine Allison reports.
Shepparton is a town under pressure.
Every part of life in Shepparton and across the Golden Valley has been impacted.
More than 5,000 residents are close contacts and thousands more are in isolation. And food and health services are stretched to the limit. Victoria's Deputy Commissioner of Emergency Management, Deb Abbott, has been sent in to help.
She will be running that as if it were no different to a bushfire or a flood.
We're servicing critical need and need where we have our most vulnerable or those that are really struggling.
Melissa Minturn found out on Monday her family would need to isolate on their property just north of Shepparton for 14 days because her son's high school is a Tier 1 site. She immediately put in a click and collect order with Coles, but it was cancelled.
Angry to start off with because I thought, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? We've got 3 kids.
The supermarket told her it just didn't have the staff to process it. She has a second order in, but it won't be ready until the weekend.
We've just got to roll with that.
Help has also been called in at Goulburn Valley Health, where about 500 local employees have been furloughed, most because they had children at local school exposure sites. About 30 staff from elsewhere in Victoria are on their way to help, and crucial services have been prioritised.
We've redeployed some of our own staff and some agency staff.
The first deployment of ADF troops has spent the day in training and has already started helping at Shepparton's testing sites. There are about 50 troops in total, plus about another 20 who will be helping in the community.
Desperately need more support, and I think, with emergency services coming in today that are giving us that guidance of how we manage this, that's what we're depending on at the moment.
And while the present situation in Shepparton remains in the balance, planning is already underway to deal with the massive testing program required to conduct Day 13 tests next week.
We're starting that work now so that we're ready to clear those people.
A community facing some testing times. Charmaine Allison, ABC News, Shepparton.